I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a big fan of monkeys. So whenever I saw a game coming out that was about a monkey and it was him traveling west and kicking people's shit in, I was in, dude. I was sold. And of course, I'm referencing Black Myth Wukong. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I had no idea what this game was before it came out, and I did not look at any gameplay or trailers or anything like that. I'm the kind of person that whenever a game I want to play gets announced, I do not look at any of the gameplay, at any of the trailers, because whenever it comes out, I want it to feel foreign and like I'm experiencing it for the first time without any preconceived ideas. That way my game brain can get turning and make its own opinions on it for me experiencing it for the first time. And let me tell you, it was turning hard this entire game. And it's in a very good way. But let's get down to some monkey business, okay? My favorite kind of business. You know, as a matter of fact, can we get a couple banana farms? Maybe some monkey-nomics in there? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you do. Please click subscribe. Black Myth Wukong opens with Wukong or the Monkey King riding a cloud down the side of a mountain and fucking riding towards this big-ass army. And straight off the bat, this game is prettier than real life. Don't go outside. Play this game. That's a lie. Please go outside. The internet's actually really bad for your mental health. Okay, but look at this. And look at this. It's not even close. Not even remotely close. The environment, the lighting, the fidelity, the water and fog animations are all amazing. Whoever did this deserves the biggest fucking raise ever. Chat, can we get them some banana farms with some economics? We learn that this army is part of the Celestial Court. Something that Wukong is not very fond of if you've read the book. He fucking hates these guys. I mean, look at him. Does that look like a man who is pleased? If that's him being slightly annoyed, I would hate to see him angry. Oh no. Oh no. Holy shit. Also, I feel like it's fair to reference in the book that from these guys, Wukong becomes so goddamn immortal, it is not even funny. From eating immortal peaches, to drinking immortal wine, to doing fucking immortal kind of like Buddhism practice, it's crazy. So, he takes advantage of these guys a lot in the book. This guy right here has done it all. If you haven't read the book, please go read it. It's really good. He goes down, talks to the Celestial Court. There's some banter between him and this guy called Erlang, where Erlang basically says, hey, fuck you, I beat you before, and I'll do it again. And then Wukong is like, no you won't. which is genuinely how he talks. So, Erlang and Wukong battle for a while, and then Wukong decides to flee in his bird form. Erlang catches up to him in his bird form, takes him down, and Wukong essentially gets turned into a rock. There is a really big time skip cutscene where it shows the trees and the mountain kind of growing, which is so pretty. So goddamn pretty. I love this cutscene. And then it cuts to now, or where your story begins. You get tasked with getting all 5 relics to bring Wukong back. You know, you just gotta get all the relics to bring back Wukong. It's pretty easy said and done. Whenever you first get introduced to a character who is obviously you by the fucking power stance he's doing, you also see this wizard monkey, who looks cool as hell. He definitely ponders some like incantations or spells. He's got something going on. This guy would definitely be the kind of guy to be like, you can destroy a flower, but the seeds within it will grow again. Something like that. You know, look at him. He says that there's one amongst your tribe who just might be the destined one to bring back Wukong. Take a guess. It's Donkey Kong. Just kidding. It's us, baby. Yes. 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 Chosen monkey. Holy monkey. Sniper monkey. You then get unleashed into the world in the form of a peach and you beat up some wolves and foxes. And it becomes immediately apparent that the combat in the game is incredibly fluid. And I'm sure that you can tell immediately by the gameplay that it's a little bit like Dark Souls, okay? There's no denying that. You have gourds that act like Estus Flask with limited uses. And in the top corner, you'll see Will, which basically acts like souls, but you don't lose it upon death, making it a little bit more forgiving. Bonfires are shrines that you offer incense to activate, and you can travel between them from location to location. But the combat does feel pretty different, and I'll expand on that. It's more so about stunning whoever you're fighting, and not in the way that you stun a big-ass boss with a heavy weapon in like Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3. More so at the end of your combo with a light attack or a well-charged heavy attack through these 3 dots at the bottom, will stun an enemy if you can hit it correctly. Since stunning is such a more common thing that happens to bosses in this game, it's much more promoted, almost wanting you to greed a little bit to see if you can get that extra hit off to stun him and get a whole nother combo in. And bosses can vary, like some will punish you for being overly aggressive. Dude, come on, man. Guys, just give me a fucking chance, man. Fucking lost my mind. And it's more complex than just your basic and heavy attacks. You see, as you go through the first chapter, you'll gain some spells, the first of which is Immobilize. This spell comes in clutch a lot, and I mean a lot. It will take a guess, freeze the enemy for a short duration of time, allowing you to get a lot of hits in on them while they physically just can't do anything. Now, the kicker here is that if you hit them enough times and do enough damage, you can actually make them get stunned once they come out. Now, if they get stunned once they come out, you can probably hit them even more so for the fact and maybe get even another stun off through your light attack combo. So as you get more spells and transformations, you can actually link together everything in your arsenal to get like a 3-long stun combo and get a third of the boss's HP down if you play your cards right. That's how it's different from Dark Souls. Now yes, in Dark Souls you can stand outside of the arena and fucking madness, seppuku, fucking that one where it's like a red flame and you put it in and it gives you like 15% damage buff. Yes, you can do all that. But in this game, it's not about buffing before the fight, it's using all the cards you have during the fight at the right time. So it's a little bit different. And this is further supported by the fact that you can upgrade each one of your spells with sparks you get. Now sparks is basically your version of leveling up in this game. But it happens passively. You don't have to buy it with souls. It just kind of, whenever you get will, it just goes to your XP bar, but you can still spend the will you get. You can also get sparks just by like sitting on this chill ass couch and meditating, dog. For example, whenever you spend a spark on Immobilize, it can make it so that whenever you light attack something, it puts them into that immobilized state for a longer amount of time, allowing you to do more damage. Or making it to where your attacks do more damage to immobilized enemies. Whenever you have those both combined, you do a lot of goddamn damage. You can take a pretty good size out of the HP bar. Like that, dude. Basically, spells are going to carry your ass through this game, and make sure you look at all of them diligently. There was a number of times where I would be looking at a spell that I just got, and I would immediately think to myself, this is dog shit. But I was wrong, because I didn't look at the upgrade tree properly and realize its uses until, I don't know, the fucking final boss of the game. So don't do that. Don't be me. I'm not smart. Okay, no monkeying around. Okay, maybe a little bit. Look at him. Hey, look at this guy. Let him have some fun, man. He's having a hard time. As you travel through chapter 1, you'll meet the Keeper of Secrets. One of my favorite characters. Yes, he looks like a potato who has been kept in the cupboard too long and is starting to grow sprouts out of his fucking face. But I love this potato. Okay? And there's nothing you can do to make me hate this potato. In the original book, Journey to the West, it followed a group of people traveling to the West to get some scriptures, a group of which Wukong was a part of. And they were tasked to go get these scriptures by heavenly figures. So the God King Emperor of Heaven, the Jade Emperor, would send down kind of mythical creatures and divine beings to help them along the way, disguised as regular things or people. From asking dragons to transform into horses for them to ride to get to their point faster, or God straight up coming down just being regular people to do some divine intervention. It was really cool. That kind of feeling of meeting characters that were almost a divine intervention and there to specifically help you is still kept in this game, and it really captures the feeling that the book kind of has with all these side characters dropping in and helping the crew as they went along. All of the nods to the book are very tasteful, and I appreciated them a lot. And I found this out after the fact, because after playing the game and researching the Journey to the West book, and I ordered a copy, it was so cool being able to see it from that perspective almost. And yes, I'm aware it's a very popular book, and I should have read it before, but I have gamer brain, so words on a page sometimes are a little boring to me. My ADD span requires Subway Surfers here and Family Guy funny moments somewhere in this area. As you go through chapter 1, the Potato Man will kind of tell you hints, where he'll be like, oh man, this thing over here might be a secret, I don't know. Keeper of Secrets my ass, dude. So listen for that. Listen for listen to whatever he has to say to you, because sometimes it will be very helpful. Later on in the level, you will find this guy. And whenever you kill him, you'll get a transformation spell. Now, transformation spells are one of the things that I really, really enjoyed about this game. You pick up this boss's dual-sided flaming sword, Darth Maul-ass, whatever the hell, and then you get the spell Transformation, allowing you to turn into him. And it's not like other games like Castle Crashers or anything like that, where you see characters do this really cool-ass moveset, and then you play as that character, and all of a sudden, that move is gone, and you have like light attack, heavy attack, and like a little poofy spell. I love Castle Crashers. Don't think I hate it, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. In this game, if you get a transformation spell, you get to do all of their abilities. And it feels so right. You'd see some character in Castle Crashers do like a fucking domain expansion, and then you would play as him and he's got like Fireball. So being able to do all of those heavy moves doesn't feel right, but oh my god, it feels good. It's like me whenever I was 6 years old hiding the DS under my pillow. The first real boss of the game you run into is the Wandering Might. And the only reason I'm not blurring his name is because he is like 30 feet away from where you first start off. And it took me a couple of tries to beat him because I had to relearn what I thought was going to be a Dark Souls-esque game. You see, I, like many other people, whenever I first got in this game, I was playing it exactly like a Souls-like, playing it very slow, conservatively, rolling whenever I needed to roll, and attacking pretty safely, trying to not greed too much. And as soon as I got that transformation spell and got immobilized and it clicked, and I immediately started comboing, immobilizing, hitting him with my light attack, he would get stunned out of light attack, I changed into transformation and fucking light him on fire. By the way, the transformation health bar is separate from your own, so it is a huge help. If you get hurt in the transformation mode, it does not affect your actual health bar, so if you're low health and you're about to die, just change into that spell and you're safe for like 10-15 seconds trying to get damage in. It pushes you to be a little greedy if you can get away with it. It wants you to. And I fucking loved it. It was different enough to be something fresh for me, familiar enough to me that I could kind of get the grasp of it relatively quickly. I had to constantly be attacking him and using my spells to gain the upper hand. We had to use some old-fashioned guerrilla warfare. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm proud of that one. Fuck you. I will admit, with the high stunning rate of bosses and different kind of gameplay feeling, it is not the same difficulty as the Souls-like is for me. Maybe it's different for you because it varies from person to person, but for me personally, Wukong was, for the large part, easier than a Souls game. I completed most bosses on my first or second try, besides a couple. God damn, there was one that was making me lose my mind. But I'm not complaining for the most part of it being kind of more casual than a Souls game. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I don't think that's really a bad thing. I will say that each area in between the bosses sometimes felt very short. Like, this game was really focused on bosses, like more so than normal enemies at times. You would fight a boss, run like 30 feet, and then there would be another boss. But that's also not something I'm entirely annoyed about, if that's what they wanted to focus on. After you beat the first boss, though, you unlock his spirit, which you can't absorb right away, but within time you'll learn. Once you absorb a spirit, you can actually just transform into them and do one usually pretty powerful attack. With this guy, he just headbutts the ground really fucking hard, kind of like me at that previous boss. Spirits are just like transformations, but they can only do one move. And there is a ton of them to collect in this game, and they do a variety of different attacks with different status effects. They're all completely worth getting because there might be one that you like that maybe I don't like because your build's different than mine. Most of the bosses are great. Now, some of them are weaker than others because of a crazy fucking hitbox or they just aren't that hard to beat. But most of them are really good and fun to play against. And one of the main things I loved about all of these bosses and game mechanics was that you can reignite the spark at any time you want, which basically means you can reclaim all of the levels that you spent for free at any time and rebuild your character however you want to do it if you're having trouble with a boss fight. So if you're fighting a boss that maybe the build you're using isn't as good, you can change it to be more promoted to fighting that boss. And I did this a couple of times and it really helped. And I have seen some crazy builds through the spark tree, like one-shot builds, more passive builds where you use spells like Pluck of Many, which lets you fucking clone yourself, and then Cloud Step to kind of chill out, really only focusing on those two abilities, or maybe more aggressive builds that focus on immobilized and transformations, allowing you to be in transformation for longer by upgrading it and immobilize for longer. The build diversity in this game is a lot bigger than you think it would be. Now that's bananas. Please subscribe. And the great thing is that no matter what build you picked, it worked great. It still flowed well and was fun. Able to reclaim them at any time is a fun-ass game mechanic and promotes experimentation and just allowing you to do silly shit, which I love. Thank you, game devs, for allowing this shit to happen. It makes the game just so much more enjoyable if you give us the freedoms like these. After you defeat the Rider Spirit, you later on are introduced to this monkey, who will upgrade your gourds for you. He upgrades the uses of them. You can't really upgrade the health that you get from a gourd through just basic upgrades. You actually unlock curios, which you can put on your gourds to make them recover more health or do different things. But you literally conduct monkey business with this guy. You know, monkey business isn't always silly. Sometimes it's very official. Fucking loser. But you really want to be looking out for these curios because they can help you a lot. I'm not sure if I'm saying that word right, by the way. It can be anywhere from making it recover 40% of your maximum health to making you recover 20% of your maximum health every like 1 second, 5 seconds after you drink it. And then you can upgrade even the curios and put soaks on them, which what I did was I put one on there that made it to where there was a considerable chance that whenever I drank my gourd, I didn't actually use that use of it and I just got an extra one. So be looking for these guys everywhere you go. After you go through chapter 1, which is pretty much like a mini tutorial, and I'm skipping over a few bosses I know, but I don't want to just spoil the entirety of chapter 1 for you, and also I'm trying not to spoil a lot of the game for you in case you want to play it. You get Cloud Step. You see, at the end of the chapter 1, you get Cloud Step, which is my fucking goat of an ability, by the way. You see, Cloud Step, whenever you press it, allows you to go invisible, leaving a decoy of you behind. Now, a lot of you just may be like, okay, this is kind of, you know, you run away for a little bit, heal, and go back. Wrong. I was using this wrong for like the first hour of playing this game. If you see a boss and he has an annoying ass ability that you hate dealing with, if it's a ranged ability, a close range ability, whatever it is, you can immediately use Cloud Step to just get out of there and mentally reset instead of running away whenever you're at low health in a panic mode. You can preemptively use Cloud Step if you know an attack is coming that you fucking hate. Whenever I realized this, it almost felt like a get out of jail free card for the entire boss fight. But it does also serve as, you know, whenever you're low health and in your head you're like, I'm so boned, I'm so boned, I'm so boned. You can click it, run away, heal while you're invisible, and kind of do a reset and go back into the fight. It literally gives you all of the time in the world to do what you need to reset. And whenever you come out of it and attack the boss, it does a critical hit. Most of the time, making them stun, allowing you to get a lot of free hits in. One of the best spells in the game, in my opinion. So you can kind of see that if you, for example, Cloud Stepped out, reset, then critical strike the boss out of a Cloud Step, wait for that stun to go through, immobilize them, and then use like a Pluck of Many to clone yourself, it can really start comboing up really fast. Also, in between chapters, there are masterpieces of like almost mini movies that are all in different art styles. One of them stop motion, one of them just like animation. These were absolutely incredible, and they made like half of the fucking game for me. Every single chapter takes place in a vastly different area with vastly different enemies in sprawling environments with a ton of secrets for you to go explore. There's whole ass secret levels that you can just miss if you don't pay attention, making exploration entirely worth it and making you want to do it because you don't want to miss out on that secret level. What if there's a cool item there that I'm gonna miss? There is a cool item there that you're gonna miss. So go searching for it, okay? There's like one cool item in every level that if you don't search, you're not gonna get, and it makes your life a living hell in the later levels, okay? So go look around. I will say though that some chapters are definitely more open than others. Like chapter 3 and 4, for example, are pretty open. Like they allow you to explore a fucking lot. The map is much more open in them, I felt, than 1, 2, and some of the others. Chapter 3 and 4 are probably my favorite. maybe chapter 5, because I got my shit kicked in and it earned my respect, and I look back on it with some sense of fondness now because it was so fucking hard. I don't know how that works, but that's my brain. What I will say is that this game really does pull you into whenever you're fighting a boss and you're on your last gourd and it's low health and your heart starts pounding and you're like, please don't fucking die. Please don't fucking die right now. He's so low. And you do actually clutch it. It is one of the most satisfying feelings ever. Which is a feeling that I've been missing, is that satisfying win after the difficulties of having to learn that boss. But there was also definitely times where I was 2 hits away from killing the boss and then I would die and baby rage the shit out at the game. And it's also cool enough that everyone kind of struggles on different bosses. There are some bosses that I struggled on that people are apparently finding really fucking easy, and then there are some enemies that I didn't have any problems with that some people are calling the spawn of Satan. So having to learn that boss's moveset and having to learn where to put those stuns in to let your gamer brain go crazy for 5 to 10 seconds and absolutely smash that X and Y button to smash the shit out of him, it's very satisfying, and I recommend it. And the story is genuinely so good about showing you the nuances of each character and making them seem human and showing their backstory through visual storytelling instead of just fucking exposition at you with an addictive gameplay cycle that I got behind, okay? I was the first 8.4% of players to beat this goddamn game because I loved it and I could not stop playing it. If you haven't played Black Myth Wukong, it is definitely worth the price. You get so many hours out of it. I have like 60 hours on this game. Go play it. It's a ton of fucking fun. You get different stabs, different armors, you stun enemies. It plays super fast. It's super satisfying. It looks amazing, and the characters are all very well written. But other than that, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.